Today I am sharing 5 Farmhouse Cottage Fall DIYs, each one under $5. Welcome to my channel, Freckled Mom. I'm Devin. If you're new, welcome. And if you're returning, hey! This is a challenge that I'll explain a little later. Let's jump into this first DIY. I had gotten this sign from my son's girlfriend when she cleaned out her room. It's pretty large, so I got it for free, which I love. So I'm just gonna give it 2 good coats of my plaster chalk paint. Now, like I said, this was really big and it's canvas, so I had to really give some thick coats to cover up those words. I also went along the edges with my elephant, which is another Waverly paint, just to give it a little contrast to that plaster paint. I went to my Cameo and I printed out some words, and I'm super excited how adorable this came out. You want to be careful because it is canvas, so you want to go through with a little bit of Mod Podge just to seal it in to reduce bleed through. I am filling in the stencil with my Truffle paint by Waverly, which is a plaid product. I'm not going to go heavy on this because you definitely don't want it to bleed through, and I do 2 coats. If you're new to my channel or coming over from the playlist, welcome. We do a lot of Dollar Tree crafts, DIY, gifts and decor, thrift flipping, and more. If you like these kind of videos, go ahead and subscribe. To all my current subscribers and Freckled fam, thank you. Don't forget to hit the bell so you'll be notified every time I post a new video. You can also find me on Instagram as Freckled Mom. Now I get my heat gun out and I heat up the vinyl before I pull it up. You want to be real careful when you're pulling up your vinyl on fabric or on canvas because sometimes it peels up the letters. It looks like I'm not being careful, but I am being super careful. I just sped it up a little bit for you guys. This is coming out so adorable. I had saw something like this online and I went to my Cameo and I made my own stencil. That way it's just a little different than everything I see online. I'm glad I used my heat gun because really nothing bled through and nothing ripped up, which was great. So now I'm just cleaning up and weeding a little bit. There are some letters that did peel up just a little bit, so I am going to go through and I'm going to just do a little Mod Podge just to make sure everything is secure and on my board. How adorable is this? This is so sweet and gives me all the feels for fall. I am so excited to get going on my home decor for the new season coming up. This was another freebie. So we had done a clean out of a thrift store quite a while ago. I had gotten this frame. If you were to pay for it, it would be $4 from the thrift store. And then I have a Dollar Tree calendar over there that I'm going to use. So this would be for $5. I have a popsicle stick here and I am cutting it down to make some shiplap. So these are just craft sticks, popsicle sticks. You can get these at Walmart or Dollar Tree. And I'm just fitting them to see how they're going to fit. It doesn't have to be perfect, but I do want it to look like shiplap. So I'm going to hot glue my cut down pieces. I just use my scissors to cut these down. I start with the outer edge and do the other edge, and you'll see I'm just trying to make sure everything fits good, and then we're going to go through and do the middle. So here I am doing the same thing. I'm just kind of measuring it out with my pencil, and I do want them to look like it's going across, but not exactly. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna do the same thing, but this time I'm cutting the edges off so it's a straight line and not the curved line. You know what I mean? And then I'm hot gluing it right to, this is the back of the frame, so no one's gonna see this. So it doesn't have to be perfect, but I do want it to line up. Like you can see, I'm trying to line it up the best I can without it being perfect because I still want that farmhouse cottage feel. here's my last one. This was great, it fit perfect. And then I do add some more craft sticks just to secure all of this, and I'm using smaller craft sticks, that way I know my backing is still going to fit on. And now I'm going through with my plaster and I'm just painting those sticks. I have flipped this over, this is the front now, and I'm just doing one coat, nothing special about this. I was still making sure it went with my farmhouse look, so nothing has to be perfect on this, but I did go through with a little brush just to get the corners, and I did paint the frame very quickly, nothing perfect. Again, farmhouse here, okay? This is the back of the picture frame. You're really not going to see it, but a little bit between those slats that we had made. So this is just my elephant from Waverly, just to give it a cohesive look. And now these are my Dollar Tree calendars. I cut the back off of like the little preview, and I'm making a little backing with some cardboard, and this is just so it gives it almost like a 3D effect, but you're gonna see. And this is, again, just so it is more secure. I am just using a little bit of glue and laying down my cut pieces. You could use Mod Podge or a glue stick. I had this right next to me, so this is what I used. And I'm just rolling it out with a little paintbrush just so that way there are no lumps, and I just smooth it out with my fingers. These are the popsicle sticks ends, and I'm just hot gluing them together just to make my like a little riser. And then I'm hot gluing it to the back of each of my little pieces here, and then I'm going to hot glue them right to my frame. I think this is so sweet, and this is just so cute and gives it a little dimension here. And you could do whatever pictures you wanted, or a different calendar, or really anything. This is just what I had on hand. This is what I wanted to do, but this is totally customizable to you. So then I put the back in, make sure everything fits in, and that's it, guys. This was so simple and so pretty. Oh my goodness, I am totally in love with this. I'm obsessed with these Dollar Tree calendars, and I just think this is so sweet, so farmhouse, so cottage. This is a challenge 5 under 5, hosted by my good friends Emily from Farm Charm Chic and Missy from the Crafty Cove. This month's co-host is Shannon from Shannon's Crafty DIYs. We are to make 5 items, and the budget for each DIY is $5. The theme for this month is farmhouse, which you guys already know. I don't listen to rules, and we are doing Farmhouse Cottage. So let's jump right back in. But don't forget to check out the hosts and the playlist when you're done with my video. Sometimes when you go thrifting, you actually don't have to do anything. I am totally in love with this basket. It was $4.99. I went through with a little brush. This is my Dollar Tree brush I use to wash my paint off my nails. And I just did a really good scrubbing with some crud cutter just to clean this up. It was pretty dirty and dusty, as you can see. It's all clean now, and I'm going through with my linseed oil, and I'm going to just rub this on. This is something I love to do to vintage baskets and anything that is like a vintage piece of wood. I don't know when this was made, but it feels pretty vintage to me. It looks pretty old, and I love the wear that is already on it, so I didn't want to do anything to this. No paint or anything. I literally just cleaned it and added this linseed oil. It is so sweet and such an easy fix for a thrifted item, so don't feel like you have to paint things every time you go to the thrift store. And here I have some Dollar Tree pumpkins. This is totally customizable to whatever you have in your home. I am in love with this. I threw a little linen napkin down, and I am obsessed. I think this is so sweet, and this is just so farmhouse, so cottage, and it is just perfect for my dining room. I am doing a video on my at-home channel where you can see the entire transformation. So make sure you watch out for that. That'll be coming within the next day or so. And this is so sweet. This is a little basket you could fill up with whatever you wanted. This is a thrifted item, a $1.99 candlestick, and a Dollar Tree bin. So we are well under our $5. I have my Star Bond glue and a mixture of hot glue, and I just put it right down on top of that. You can see here I'm pushing it down, and I do put something heavy there and let it sit for a few hours. I do add some extra hot glue for some security before I bring it out to the garage to get a nice dose of white spray paint. And now I am just distressing it. So I'm doing a little bit of sanding, and I try a little bit all around the edge, not on everything, just a little bit so you can see that black poking through. And then I have a little bit of that truffle paint. It was still sitting in a tray, so I decided to use that and the same brush I had used earlier. But you could use a dry brush from the dollar store, or you could also use a different color, such as Walmart's Antique Waverly wax. I just had the truffle out, and I'm just going through and just distressing this and making it look older so it goes with my farmhouse cottage feel. I'm in love with this, how this came out. I think this is super sweet. Again, you could do anything for this. You could put napkins in it, you could put linen in it, you could put pillows in it, you could put pumpkins in it, or flowers. I have this in my dining room, so I put a tablecloth in it, but you could do whatever you wanted. I think this is super sweet, super easy, and definitely under $5. Here is another freebie. So this, if you had gotten this at a thrift store, it probably would be a couple dollars. I spray painted it in that same white spray paint. I wasn't super careful about it. I want it to look distressed and old. I have this shoe polish here, and I thought this would be good for enamel wear. Normally I use a stamp pad and I just roll it around the edge. But I wasn't happy with the stamp pad, and clearly not as happy with the shoe polish either, because it really didn't give it that black look. So I did go through with my paint pen here. This is a paint marker, and I just go through and I just painstakingly hand paint this to make it look enamel wear. I have some Michael's flowers I had gotten on clearance the other day, and I'm just filling it up to what I think looks nice. I ended up adding some Dollar Tree flowers here, and I think this is so sweet. You could do this for whatever colors are your fall colors. I just love how this came out. I love the colors, I love the season, I love everything about this. But again, this is totally customizable to whatever you want to do for your home and which season you're working on. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up. Also, down in the comments, let me know what your favorite DIY was. Today was a challenge, 5 for 5. I hope you were motivated to make your own decor for your home. If you were inspired, please consider subscribing if you haven't already. When you hit the bell, you'll be alerted every time I post a new video. Make sure to click the notifications to all. Another way you can support my channel is buymeacoffee.com. That link is down in my description, as well as the link for the hosts of this challenge and the playlist. If you create one of my DIYs and want to show me, go ahead and follow me on Instagram as Freckled Mom. I'd love to see what you made and hang out over there too. Make sure you check out my community tab to see when I go live next. Don't forget to look for the full transformation on my Freckled Mom at Home channel. Have a great night. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.